As promised, this video is going to be all of the little tips and tricks we've picked up so far about organization in the Airstream. So none of these things are life-changing or super duper exciting unless you really love organization like I do. But I think they're just good things to remember no matter what kind of space you're in. But when you're dealing with a really small space, such as our 200 square foot Airstream, organization and smartly organizing becomes critical. So I'm just going to walk around the Airstream and show you some of our tips and tricks. And as always, I'd love to hear about things in the comments below. If you liked things, if you have other ideas for people or ideas for us, because the girls are going to help because we're always looking for organizational ideas. So we're just going to start and head around. A lot of this you've probably seen if you've watched our channel for a while. One of the big tips, things that we like to do, well, I like to try to do, is functional organization. So this is our key drop-off area, which we've shown in other videos, but also decorative. So just because it's organized doesn't mean it has to look ugly. Our beautiful shoe rack that I showed on the last Friday favorite, vertical storage. Thinking about different ways of storing things than just in closets. That's was a big deal changing from the Airstream from a house, is that in a house you tend to have a lot of closet space, you have dresser drawers. In the Airstream we don't have that much, so we need to think outside the box about where we can put storage, and so the screen door worked well. Another drop-off zone, this time for sunglasses, little loops, and then we also have these little hooks to hold mail or notes or lists or anything we need to do like that. So the door area has all the things we need when we're walking out the door: keys, sunglasses, mail, lists, things like that. Another tip is to use containers to organize. And they don't have to be specially bought container store containers, though I have some of those. This is a lot of the photo equipment storage. You might recognize these. They're just Tupperwares. In fact, they were used for food at one point, but we managed to have 3 of them that fit really well here. In fact, we could probably fit one more. And in them we have, that looks like GoPro, camera, and gimbal and other assorted stuff, all nicely organized and easy to grab. So containers can make a huge difference. Otherwise, that's a bunch of tiny little things that are rolling around this cabinet or in one big bag that you have to dig out and dig through. Now it can be kind of easily organized and easy to grab. So containers, and any container at that. I've shown the bar before, but when it comes to when your house moves and you have earthquakes in it while it's moving, because apparently that's what it's like inside of an Airstream while it's moving, it's important to store things so that you don't have to restore them. Here comes Penny, she's gonna help. When you actually go down the road. And so this is our bar storage. It's not exactly the prettiest, but it works because everything in there is secure, has its own plastic around it, is nicely in this area, and I don't have to worry about coming into the Airstream to find a very smelly mess, and Steve being very sad. So, okay, other organizational tips. The kitchen, we haven't done anything too crazy spectacular. We've shown this before. So we use a lot of just containers. These quick lock ones, these like airtight quick lock ones are awesome because then I don't have to worry, even if they tip or fall, nothing's gonna come out, hopefully, unless it's a really big fall while we're moving. Again, store them so that they're not a pain later. And we've shown our condiments before too. So these things were all over the place and now they're in this nice little plastic container. I have no idea what this was originally for. I think we got it at Walmart, but it fits. We showed the shoe rack being used on the inside of the closet, vertical space. We also have clips on the inside of the closet door for our winter hats right now. Really, this is a bunch of space that's being wasted, and I just got to figure out the right thing to organize on it. I'm sure I'll get there. But space like this in a tiny space is awesome for organization. I just have to figure out what to do with it. And then we're gonna skip the bathroom. There's nothing too exciting about our bathroom storage. The bedroom, I just wanted to point out a few tips. Ugh. One is we hang hats in a couple of different places around the bedroom. If they were in the closet far back, not right on that door where I showed you, we would never use them. And so we need them to be easily accessible again so that we can just grab and go. The guitar is also conveniently sitting out. I hope that will be doing what I want it to be doing once I hit the road, which is by seeing it every day, I will be coerced into learning how to play it. It also happens to be one of the few places we can store it. So, but that is one of the things they say. If there's something you want to do, if you have it out where you can see it, you are more likely to do it. So hopefully that comes true. In the bedroom, we've employed a number of different organizational tactics. Cloth bins and bags are one of my new favorite things because obviously you can store a bunch of things in them. They stack. Right now they're kind of precarious because they're on the bed, but inside the cabinet they stack really well, and they're squishy, so I don't have to worry about them not necessarily fitting. They also, while you're moving, provide buffer. So I have my jewelry in a bunch of little wooden stackable cases. Works great while we're stationary. But these have no lids, and this would be very dangerous going down the road. So what I do is I put them down in the cabinet along the wall and then make a buffer with my soft storage and place something on top of them. And what that does is it's a very quick way of packing. Everything stays where it was. It just gets spread out a little bit, and everything stays nicely organized. So these, I was having the hardest time figuring out how to store my scarves, and now I want to try to figure out more ways to use bags like this, big ones, small ones, because they are super duper handy to store things. That's one of my new tips that we just learned. And then containers. Containers are like the number one theme of this video, I think. There's containers like this, which I have stacked. If you've seen our bedroom tour, you've seen how we have that stacked in there. So we have stackable containers with clothes here. We have stackable cloth containers, a little bit harder though, with clothes up there. So it makes it, instead of just having a bunch of clothing shoved up there and having it really hard to find what you're looking for, or down there in that one drawer, we now have nice, easy ways of picking up and dealing with a bunch of different items. So that's all I can think about for storage. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of ideas, but the main thing to me is you want to keep the pieces or whatever you're trying to organize where it makes the most sense. If it's something that you need to be able to grab quickly, or is for a specific task, it needs to go where you're going to be performing that task or somewhere easily accessible. So having things stacked away really nicely somewhere where they never get used, that's not the point of organization, in my opinion. And a really easy way of organizing that makes it easy for everyone is to separate things out into smaller containers. Even like I said, in drawers, in cabinets, it just makes it so that things are compartmentalized, you know where to go, and in general just makes life easier, I think. So that's it for my Airstream. Oh, nope, one more. back it up, all the way up. This one sent me into a happy dance for like a week. Well, there's two up here that sent me into a happy dance for the week. One was figure out where all your storage is, and we're doing that. We have storage in the arms of our couch, which we learned from Rainey, who you met in our other Airstream tour, the nautically themed Airstream, which I will link to up here. But we have other storage we never knew existed, like behind this, in this cabinet right here, behind the bar, there's a bunch of area back there. It's not easily accessible, but for blankets or seldom used items, perfect, because it's right in the living room. So that was a newly discovered one. So you Airstream owners out there, if you have cabinets like this, see, you can't, right there it looks like there's nothing there. You can't see that there's anything there. You take the drawer out, and there's this giant, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, there's a big giant compartment back there. And I know that's it's just wasted space. So if I could figure out how to use that, I'm gonna do that. But that'll be another video. What I came up here to show you was what we learned from Stream and Freedom when they lived in their Airstream, and that is how we store our laundry in one of our best pieces of furniture ever, which is this ottoman. It's comfy to sit on. We can use it when we have people sitting around this table here as a seat. You can use it as a footrest, and you don't have to look in here, but that's our laundry. That's our laundry hamper. And it's so easy. And when it's time to do laundry, we just pull out the collapsible ones, throw the laundry in it, and we're out the door. So that was the tip I picked up from Stream and Freedom on one of their videos, and I love it. So great use of space, triply used piece of furniture. And again, easy, and that's what makes the organization work. As Steve will tell you, it's not easy, it's not organized right. So that's it for this week. I hope these tips were useful to you, whether you live in a small space or a big space. If you have other organization tips that you love, please comment below, because I'm sure we could all learn from them. And tomorrow is our last video in this organization series, where we talk about one overlooked but very important organizational item here in this Airstream. So stay tuned for that. As always, if you like these videos, please give us a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, we'd love it if you would subscribe to follow the rest of our journey. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys!